Joan and Joan Cusack. Come on out, you guys. Come on out. I'm so excited about this girl. Yeah, please have a seat, you guys. That is a warm welcome.
Friend Lacey from work would like to know what's your favorite movie that you guys have done together and why. And for Joan, Miss Sheila from Shameless. She's a very special and unique unicorn and we love her. Where do you get the, where did you
Gumption?
where did you get gumption to play her? Where does the inspiration to play her come from? Because she's just a hot mess, but we love her.
Well, I'll answer first since you ended with that. Okay. I just keep trying to think of dignity all the time. That's my go-to. I'm like, how can I have dignity in this moment? And that's really what drives her, is her own form of dignity.
She's amazing.
Thank you, thanks for liking her.
Oh, we love her.
I think anytime I get to be with and work with any of my family or friends, it's great. So I think we had a lot of fun on Grosse Point Blank. Yeah. We had a lot of fun on all of them.
It's hard to get a movie made, and he keeps trying to get them made. So if you get a chance to be on one, you might as well enjoy it.
For sure.
Thank you.
Very nice. Let's go over here.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh my God. Wow.
Just pick that up.
That's amazing.
I was going to make a wheeling water fountain, but too cumbersome for Comic-Con.
Wow. Well, I think you went all out enough. That's awesome.
I was wondering, since I haven't seen you guys at Comic-Con or anything, what comic book villain or hero would you want to play if you could?
I'm trying to think. I like the Frank Miller stuff. It's super dark and kind of crazy. But there's another one I like. The Watchmen was cool. I liked Spider-Man when I was a kid. Aquaman, those things. But as far as a villain, I don't know. I never got offered one.
Was there a Raggedy Ann cartoon comic book thing? No, that sort of struck me.
There wasn't a villain in Raggedy Ann.
No, my whole childhood just got turned upside down right there with that visual.
Conjuring.
Oh, interesting.
Very good.
Miss Frizzle.
Go ahead over here.
Hi, thank you so much for coming to Portland, Oregon. I wish I could take you on a hike, so it'd be so fun. I gotta slow down. I'm gonna talk to you. I love you guys so much, both individually and together. So the movies that you've done together are great. Movies done individual, fantastic. Any chance in the future of you guys working together on a project again?
Yeah, a friend of ours, it's kind of like a comic book. He wants to make a movie called Ass. And it's a town called Ass, and everyone has large goiters and stuff. I think it's
Nice.
near a nuclear power facility. But our friend is insane who wrote it, and we can't make sense of the script. But I think we wanted to see it.
Awesome.
And we thought we'd shoot it in an alternate language and just put subtitles there.
I would watch that.
I think I would too, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. I think that was an answer to the comic book.
But I'm with you on tracking, which is remarkable. So I like the goiters. Go ahead over here.
Hi, this is a question for Joan. Out of all the people that you've worked with, I mean, you worked with Tom Hanks, Jack Black, Christopher Lloyd, Angelica Houston, etc. Who was your most favorite, and why, besides your brother?
That's good.
I'm trying to think. You know, they're all such different periods of your life, too, because it's like 3 months of your life that you work with someone in different years of your life, and you appreciate different things about some talented, interesting person you get to work with at that moment. And, you know, I think the most you appreciate is the people who were kind or generous. And like Kevin Kline was great. He was like a good guy. He was talented and nice. And we would do a press thing, and he's like, "You've got to order caviar. Always order caviar." I was like, "Wow, okay." I didn't even know if they liked caviar. All right, that's what you do. So, I don't know, but of course, always great to work with this guy.
She has to say that.
Yeah, I
That's great. Over here, please.
Hi.
Hi.
So The Sure Thing is like drop dead funny. It's one of my favorite comedies of all time.
It was made like triple your age.
My dad,
I'm so shocked.
well, what's going to shock you more is that my dad made me watch it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It was kind of, what did you do wrong? Like, it was punishment, right?
I loved it though. It was great.
Well, sometimes punishment can be good.
So there's so much comedy in that movie. What was your favorite thing to film?
Well, I was so young, you know, I was like 16 or 17 when I made that, so I was just really lucky because the director, Rob Reiner, is a really like great human being. So I was, you know, lucky when I was young. I had good people to look after me and show me the ropes, and he was like a very, very good guy. And I met Tim Robbins on that film and became friends with Tim.
Feelings.
Yeah. I don't remember. Yeah, that's right.
Show tunes.
Yeah, and so it was sort of like, it was a big whirlwind, but there were good people making the movie, so they really looked after you. So that was just a fun time.
Thank you.
How do you think Hollywood's changed? I'm just curious. I mean, given your career and everything, what do you see today that's different from when you guys got started in the business?
Well, it used to be more like, do you know when they used to say Pennsylvania was better when the mob ran it? Just stay with me.
Okay, I'm following. Did you see me do the lean in? I was like, tell me more. Tell me more.
Well, there used to be studio guys, and they, you know, if they liked you or they wanted you, that was their thing. So they made their big action movies, but they would also give slots to people to make films. And that space has largely gone to TV now. But, so there used to be those, and now it's just so corporate that it doesn't seem like there's not as much loyalty. Like you could still sort of, it was a little bit of the Wild West, you know, back in the 80s and 90s where you could still sort of sneak a film into like the theaters, but now everything gets so kind of processed by marketing and all that stuff. So I do remember a time when it was a little bit more, I guess you could say, artist friendly.
Same assessment.
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely feel that. I feel like it seems like it's probably always been the same in some way. It just keeps changing the venue. Now it seems like there's more opportunity in TV, and that's kind of cool. It's, you know, you can tell longer stories, and I think as an actor you get to work with people over and over again, which is kind of nice too. But it's probably the same in a lot of ways too. Like there's always been, you know, huge celebrity, and there's always been this person's the hit person, and marketing, and then crazy people, and people taking advantage, and the horrible diseases that people get, and then they're, you know, it's just, so there's probably a lot of the same. It's like
You're actually right. I'm thinking back through the history of cinema. I'm like, yep, damn, she's right on it.
Hi, nice to say hello to you guys.
Hello.
Thanks so much for being such a great team. My question is for John. We're going to go back to the 80s for a minute, so I'm glad you're sitting down. If you were to make a mixtape today, what 3 songs or bands?
All right, first of all, that's 2000. The mixtape was 2000.
Sorry.
But I didn't answer your question. What 3 songs would I put on it?
Or bands.
Well, it depends on who you're making the mixtape for and what you want. I think if you want to get people to get roused out of their apathy, you put on some Sex Pistols, The Clash, The Ramones, right? Some Solomon Burke, Marvin Gaye. But now you're getting into the seduction romance part. And it's hard to
different
ask.
type of
I didn't know
apathy.
this would be our first date, so, you know, I'll check
There you go.
it. Thank you.
Nice cosplay.
Thanks. So, Joan, I would just like to tell you that, like, my entire family, except one person, because she doesn't like Shameless, but everyone in my family loves you so much. You're such like, Sheila is such an amazing character, and you're an amazing actress.
Oh,
And you're welcome. So, I have a question. I was wondering who is your favorite person to, like, work with on the set of Shameless?
Let's see. Everybody's so great there, don't you think? They all do, I think, a really good job and professional, and it's a fun show to do just because it's fast, and so everyone has to know their lines, and you can't take your time with stuff. You just got to get in there and work, and it was fascinating, because I'd never done a show like that, a show over time like that. So it was really fun to work, and everyone's great. So, yeah, I mean, the younger kids, it's been so interesting to see them get older, and how do they handle things, and, you know, thinking about them and helping them.
Thank you.
Let's go over here.
Hi, John and Joan. My question is, you've acted in a lot of variety of genres of film, comedy, romance, action. Do you have a favorite genre that you like to do?
It's always the best director of any genre, don't you think?
Yeah, I think if you can do a good version of any of them, they're all super fun and good to do. So
And similar in a weird way. It's
Yeah.
just flipping something.
Yeah, so I don't mind anything. Like, I think the good thing is I've been lucky enough to do all sorts of things. So it's fun to go into like the horror space. And sometimes, you know, it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But the things that make a movie work out are so complicated because you got to the script has to get right, then you have to shoot a real good film, but then you have to protect the cut. And any one of those things goes wrong, and the movie sucks. So, but when you do any of those genres right, where you can sort of see it through, it's always, they're all fun to do. It's like just entering a different world. Fun.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hi, question for John. Identity is one of my favorite movies of yours. What was your favorite part of that movie to film?
That was a cool thing. The director was a really good guy, Jimmy Mangold, and very professional and cool, and it was a really good cast, so it was just 10 of us. And it all took place really on a sound stage, so it was fun because it was raining all the time, and it was all built on a set. So no matter, you just wake up in the morning and you didn't even need coffee, because as soon as they yelled, you know, roll the cameras, you're going to get doused by ice water. So you just wake up and then, you know, but it's just fun to work with a, you know, small cast, you know, with Ray Liotta and John McGinley and Amanda Peet and a lot of cool actors. John Hawke, that was before he had started doing a lot of things, and a lot of great actors. So we just had a fun time. It was a very good shoot.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hi, thanks for being here, both of you.
Thanks for having us.
This is great. This question is for both of you. Back in the day, what was it like to work with directors John Hughes and Cameron Crowe?
Well, John Hughes, we were both I was
So young.
I was a sophomore in high school, and I got a part, and it was a week and a half, so I don't really remember that much. I mean, I remember it was like amazing to do a movie.
Yeah,
And and he was a very cool guy.
Yeah.
Like, I liked him a lot. He would just kind of lay on the floor smoking Carltons, watching it. But it was he was really into it and had a point of view, and it was just all so new. But that's what I remember about that.
I also remember, like he said, afterwards I remember seeing it. He said, well, what did you think? I was like, well, I really liked it, and then I said something critical. Like, I can't remember what it was, but I was like, I wasn't sure if she would talk that way. And then he's like, oh, a critic. And I'm like, what am I saying? Why did I say that to him? What am I talking about? Why did I do that? And I couldn't believe it. But he made you feel free. You know, he made you feel like you could say that. You know, he's like, the high school point of view was valid, for sure.
Yeah, real cool guy. And Cameron was a great guy. We had a great time on working on that too. And that was a much more intense sort of relationship because I was, you know, he and I, and so that was a great, intense relationship. So I have lots of great memories of Cameron.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Hi guys, I just wanted to tell you I've loved you since 16 Candles, and that costume, oh my god.
Did you see her?
Yeah, that was fantastic. And I just wanted to say In and Out was my favorite of yours, Joan. And John, I was at my 30th class reunion, and one of my classmates was handing out pens, and I immediately started looking for a poster to hide the body. So thank you for that. And
Was anyone killed?
No, not that I'm aware of. Maybe after we went to the bar. But anyway, I just wanted to thank you for all your work, and I loved you guys all this time. So thanks.
Thanks so much.
I just want to thank you guys for being here. I love you both so much. My question is actually for John. I recently read that Better Off Dead was your least favorite movie that you ever made, which is my favorite movie. I wanted to know if that was true, and if so, could you elaborate on why that's your least favorite movie?
It's not really true, but it keeps getting reprinted, and then everyone keeps saying it. But I think what happens is, like, when I had done it, I knew it was a sort of, again, I was like 12 years old when I made it, right? So it was like an intense couple months, and you're starting out, so I'd done like, I think The Sure Thing, a couple of 16 Candles, one other thing. So I was like, all right, it's a surreal black comedy, right? So it was definitely different than anything I'd read before. And so I had a good time shooting it and stuff, but I think when I saw the movie, like, I thought the score would be a little bit more subversive. Like, I didn't think it would be like a traditional sort of strings score, but any element of that, like when you have an idea in your mind, you're always disappointed, like when you're done with something and you think, oh, I could have done it better, or I sucked in that, or whatever it is. But then it kept sort of getting reprinted that I hated it and hated it and hated it, but I just never really thought about it as much. But I do remember being disappointed with the score a little bit, and, you know, not liking myself in it or thinking I screwed it up when I was a kid. But then it just kept getting reprinted that I hated or something. But I'm happy that people like it.
Because I love Wayne Myers.
Yeah, so. I don't have any deep-seated antagonism towards it at all.
Thank you.
And so I feel bad for the director and everybody that gets reproduced all the time. But
So you're here to say it's not true.
it's not true.
It's a new era.
You just told a lot of people, so that's good. That's good. Right over here.
All right. Hi, I'm Stevie. I have a question for John. My mom, I don't know if she wanted to listen to me whine, but she recently watched 1408 without me. I was curious, what's your favorite ending on that? Is it the original or is it the alternate where the cassette tape comes out and you hear your daughter's voice again? That one's my favorite.
That was the original. That was the ending.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought that one was the alternate.
No, that was the original ending.
Oh, okay.
Then they put more endings on the DVD so they could sell more DVDs.
Well, which one did you like better?
Well, I was like, what the fuck are we doing by making 3 endings?
Yes.
I was like, you fuckers, like, whatever money we get, we squeeze more money out of this thing. I don't know. I thought, but I did think they were kind of, a couple of them were cool ideas. But I like the one with I like what we shot.
Yeah, awesome.
I like the one with the cassette and you hear her voice. But I think we shot, I don't even know how many they shot. It was a blur. But I know there's one where I was like I was at a funeral and I came back as a ghost. I was like, this isn't gonna work. But I was like, it'll be cool to get all fucked up.
Thank you.
My question for both of you is, you know, for those of us who love the movie, just nostalgia has made it better and better. Looking back on it now, you know, as performers and creators of it, how does it stand up for you?
Well, if I look back on it, it sort of goes to the question about, like, you know, how do you think Hollywood has changed or the business has changed? And when I made that film, you know, there's a guy named Joe Roth, and he used to run Disney, and he ran 20th Century Fox, and he's a really good guy. He makes a lot of movies as a producer, but he used to be sort of one of the studio heads. So he would make a slate of movies, and he would make his Armageddon and Independence Day, or, you know, the blockbustery type movies. I made one for him called Con Air, right? And, you know, so he would make these big movies to satisfy the stockholders, but then he had 6 or 7 sort of slots, and he gave me the money to make High Fidelity and Grosse Point Blank. He gave Spike Lee the money to make Summer of Sam. He gave Wes Anderson the money to make Rushmore. So all these films were like studio films with no interference, like artist friendly, and we were able to make something now that I could never make those movies in the studio today. You could never go to 20th Century Fox and have a lead character look to the camera and say, you know, I am an asshole because I skipped money. You know, my girlfriend needed an abortion, and I had to, like, you know, borrow money, and I never paid it. Like, all these incredibly human, fucked up things that are in the book, right? And he didn't care. He was like, this is my studio. I'm making money. I get to make some movies. And those days, it seems, are gone. So I'm just so appreciative to. If I look back at any of the good films that I've made, I always think, well, it wouldn't have happened without Joe Roth, who backed me, really. So, I don't know, I guess maybe you could make that on cable, but then you'd have to, I mean, even just trying to get all the rights to the music, I don't know how you could do it these days. But I love that movie, and I love the book, so I'm happy that people love it.
Thank you.
Hi, so my question is for Joan. I think one of the funniest movies ever made is School of Rock. And in that movie, in my opinion, one of the funniest scenes is when you and Jack Black are at the bar and Stevie Nicks comes on the jukebox and your character isn't really able to stop herself from jamming out to it. So I just wanted to know, was that character dimension, did it have any basis in your real life?
Actually, well, it's kind of cool because I think if High Fidelity hadn't happened, Jack Black wouldn't have had that career that he had, because that was really the first movie he kind of popped in too, interestingly. And it was so great to be part of that movie and see him be able to, you know, carry it on, because he had that charm. You could just feel it in High Fidelity, I felt like. And when we were filming that scene, they were talking about a Stevie Nicks song, and I was like, oh, we should do the Edge. I loved that song, so I helped pick that song, so I was so proud of that. And then, of course, it's easier to have fun with it if you really connect to it. So, you know, he was great, and it's, you know, in the best part, like when you can get an opportunity like High Fidelity or work on something like that, when people are, you know, see and are real interesting, it's so fun, and it translates. I think people feel that. So,
thank you.
Thanks for appreciating it.
Okay. Hi. I'm huge fans of both of yours. Thank you.
Who are you?
I'm a Mormon missionary, just because I love the musical.
Awesome. I was trying to think. I was like, ice cream man, bicycle helmet. Yeah. I was like, I knew it was something, but I couldn't figure out.
He would like to talk to you right now.
There, yeah. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I'm huge fans of both of yours. I've even seen the lesser known movies like Natty Gann and, you know, Arlington Road. Yeah, and out of all those movies, you know, there's only been a few that you've done together, and I'm always wondering, like, why isn't John in this one, or why isn't Joan in this one? Like, why don't you do more brother and sister projects? Is what I'm wondering.
It's you can't really like you have to just sort of con people into getting money, and then I don't know how it works, but it's not like we're turning them down. But we got a couple ideas, right? Yeah, a couple ones we'll try to do.
The town called Ass. That's our big next idea, in a different language.
Yeah, that's on the docket.
It's probably one of the reasons why there aren't that many more.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I smell a Kickstarter. Go ahead.
Kickstarter.
Hi. So you two have been in some of my most favorite movies of all time, so it's a real pleasure to see you up here. I gotta say, John, your character in High Fidelity, that's me. Organizing my vinyl like crazy. And Joan, a bunch of years ago, I worked on a movie with you called Mars Needs Moms.
Oh.
And what was your experience like working in a motion capture film?
Well, my biggest experience of that was I finished doing that movie and I didn't realize while I was doing it that it was the grandson of H.G. Wells. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I finished working on that and I didn't know the director was the grandson of H.G. Wells the entire time. I could have asked him all kinds of interesting questions that never even crossed my mind because I had no idea. So that was like the thing that struck me the most.
You should call him up.
I should.
Ask him a lot of questions.
I'm like, by the way, wow. But it's a weird little kind of format because you're kind of like, what is happening that we're like wearing these weird suits? It's so weird. It's by far the weirdest form. Have you done that?
No.
It is so weird.
Yeah, well, one of my jobs was during the pre-cap stage was I would walk around and check your balls.
Have you guys seen those pictures? You have these balls all over you. It's like from that Woody Allen movie where he has that suit thing, and you're walking around and you're talking like you're a normal person. It's so bizarre, and then it's just so bizarre.
It was fun though.
It was fun.
I didn't think, given what we were discussing, you were going to outquote us up here on stage, but you did, as the person who checked her balls.
Hi, my question's for Joan. It's about the Toy Story films. Which one was your favorite, both in filming and seeing it up on the big screen, and why?
Well, it was so bizarre to see, because I hadn't seen Toy Story before I had seen Toy Story 2. So I didn't really know what they looked like that much. And it was, well, wait a minute, maybe I did see it. I'm trying to see, I know that I was so shocked at the way it looked when I saw it at the screening, because it was such dense, technical, different kind of animation. And I don't know how much different the first one was. But obviously that one for sure, because it was sort of the Jessie story. And I love that she wasn't a princess. She didn't have a princess dress. It was just so great. And I love that she wasn't the damsel in distress. And it was just so good. And it was such a cool experience.
Yeah.
So thanks for appreciating those. It's fun to be a part of them.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you.
I love the theme on the princess. I raised my daughter as the self-sufficient princess, and she's 7, and she goes, it means to take care of yourself. So I applaud what you're saying there. Let's go over here.
Hello, I have a question for each of you. Joan, you make villainous characters likable, so I was wondering if you chose scripts that did that, or did you interpret it that way? And then John, where's pushing 10 as far as movies that you like?
I had a good time on that one. It was because I got to meet and become friends with Billy Bob, who I really like a lot, and got to work with Kate Blanchett and Angelina Jolie. That was fun. It was a good time. So we were hanging in Toronto. Remember, it was a long shoot, and it was kind of a crazy shoot, but I really loved, becoming friends with Billy Bob. So I had a great time.
And I think, I don't know, people probably say this, but I think you always have to find something nice in your character that you really like, even if it's a villain. So I think probably that's what I did. It's not a very good answer.
Thank you.
Debbie Jelinski comes to mind. So likable. Go ahead.
Hi. Oh, loud. Sorry. I really like one of your films that both of you did that's kind of random. I really like Martian Child. When I was 16, I saw it dozens of times, and I did like all these inside joke things, like the Lucky Charms, like I eat Lucky Charms. And anyway, but yeah, so I wondered what kind of memories you had from doing that movie.
I liked it. It was one of those things where it was a hard process trying to get the film right and sort of look after it and protect it and stuff. But it was, its heart was in the right place, and I remembered having a good time in Vancouver. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Your question, I apologize.
You wake up on a deserted island, this is for both of you, and there's a crate every day, and it's delivering a breakfast food. What is that breakfast food?
Mango!
Wow, that was awesome.
I just knew the answer before that.
Just straight up mangoes, it's not on anything?
Just like, I've been very into mangoes lately. I mean, not that I know how to get them or order them.
I think I'd take a cinnamon roll. A really good cinnamon roll with like a lot of the white stuff on top.
No, because then you can make mango ice cream out of it, or just eat the mango.
I think mango's actually a better choice.
So you're saying there's like, I'm in a deathly situation? Like,
Only mangoes? Just mangoes every day?
so there won't be like a nice little kitchenette in the freezer where I can chop it up? Or is it
You just have the crate to work with. You're gonna have to set stuff up on the crate.
You're gonna have to like MacGyver your way through it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Well, it's nice that we got the crate.
Yeah, thank you.
We get breakfast.
Thank you.
Love that.
You can build a raft over time.
Yes.
I'm feeling this like a penal colony or something, right? Like the Botany Bay, just where they put all the Irish that need to be kicked out of civilian societies, just put us on the beach, and drop us crates of mango.
And then you pick mango. You do realize that she's going to out-paddle you to freedom because she's going to have the energy to do so with all the cinnamon rolls.
No, she's not. She's going to have a sugar crash. And I am going to be sailing.
So true. I love it. All right, over here.
Thank you for coming to Portland. You've both made so many great relationship movies. Do you have any relationship advice?
This will be good.
I plead the fifth.
I think it's kind of like the
She does.
playlist thing. You got to figure out what relationship are you talking about?
True.
Is it with your mother? Or your father? Or your sibling? Or a girlfriend? Or a boyfriend? Depends.
Thank you.
That was genius. Go ahead.
How's it going, guys? My name is Ethan Archer. I am an aspiring actor. And I am told constantly that it's who you know.
Who do you know?
I would love to buy you guys a cup of coffee. And I just so happen to work at Starbucks, so I can get a great discount.
As all aspiring actors probably need when they're getting started, right? The great discount.
Always.
Yeah, you might want to lose the stentorian tone if you get into it. Just film just
modulate
it down a little bit.
I'll start working on that.
That's better, right? Already.
Thank you very much.
No.
Oh, no. Too much.
Yeah, too much.
Too much.
But that's a really good stentorian voice. Don't you like that I use the word stentorian? I don't even know what it means.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it means like official.
Yes.
I don't know.
Well, it does now.
I'm going to walk
That's what
away
it was
knowing that I
meant to-
have a stentorian voice today. Thanks, guys.
Over here.
Hi, I originally just kind of jumped on you guys as close as possible for a picture, but I've been watching you guys since I was a kid. Better Off Dead, One Crazy Summer, one of my favorites. Toys, amazing. Just thank you for both.
Thank you.
Hi, John, Joan, I'm Vic.
Hello.
I first wanted to say that Grosse Point Blank, you guys were both awesome. I loved the way you and the Jet just beat the hell out of each other in that film. You look amazing with your technique, by the way.
Thank you.
But my actual question is, I'm racking my brain. I don't remember ever seeing either of you in like a sci-fi film. I mean, I know you did 2012, which is kind of sci-fi, but you guys have never been like the captain of a starship or anything, and I would love to see that. Is that a genre you guys just kind of like bypass, or is it something you just
Again,
don't get in?
it's not. I think everyone has this assumption that like, oh, you get to pick and choose what you want to do. It's like chaos. You're just trying to find something good to do, and then if somebody offered us something great, we'd do it. Or if you could, but if you create it yourself, you have to, it could be 2, 3 years, 10 years to get a project made. You have to just work all the time. So,
What do you think
never
would
got
be
it.
a good sci-fi
Yeah,
director? What do you think would be good?
City called us.
Like, like Star Trek, Star Wars, like even if, like I said, just like...
No, ass in space.
Ass in space. I would pay $11 to see that. I really
Wouldn't
would.
you? Wouldn't I think so? But I never got offered a sci-fi movie. Did you?
No.
No.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right, we're almost out of time in this room. We'll see how many more we can squeeze in. Go ahead.
Hi.
Hi.
That's loud. My question's for both of you. Who have you not worked with in Hollywood that you would still like to?
There's so many people, but Hollywood doesn't really exist because that's just a place where the edifices are, and then the people in the studios are getting money from like the Chinese. So it doesn't really exist anymore, but it sort of does. But they live all over. But there's directors and actors that I think, oh, that would be great to work with him. There's so many good ones.
There are. And then there's so many that have died that would have been fun to work with.
Who that's
Like
passed away would you like to work
or, I was thinking of her.
Like Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder.
Yeah, passed away.
There's so many. John Cassavetes, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Over here for our last question.
Hi, my name is Greg Ellis. I'm from Fort Grove. I like all you guys' movies that I've seen. Star Wars would be the best science film I'd like to see, but I was just wondering, has there ever been a personality trait that you guys did that you hear about actors kind of having problems sometimes? That maybe one stuck with you or something, or like a face. You put on your face, go on to do the show. Did anything ever stick with you guys or anything that maybe caused problems or something?
I think if you get afraid of people, that you're afraid you can't trust them, and I think that happens in Hollywood sometimes because people, they don't just tell you the truth, they're not always real.
Like if you say, what time is it? And it's like 11 o'clock, they may lie. You're like,
Yeah.
why did you lie about that? It's just 11 o'clock.
Like why?
No,
Why
it's
did
10
you have
o'clock.
to do that?
It's 10 o'clock.
Why?
I don't know.
How does that help you?
It's
It's a
just very
different
hard to
time.
figure out.
Yeah, so you have to trust people.
All right, I'm going to take advantage of this moment to have a seat in between you and take a selfie.
Awesome.
Do
Do it.
Squeeze in.
Who gets to say they get to do this?
All right, 1, 2, 3. Oh, you guys, give it up for John